Now come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, honorable city council members, chief of staff, our city attorney, to the administrative staff, and the audience, and all those who are here visiting with us this evening, and to those who are viewing tonight's broadcast via our broadcast channel and YouTube Live. Welcome to the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting, and today's date is Monday, August 12, 2024. Members of the public wishing to participate in this meeting may do so under the public comment portion of the agenda. Please fill out a request to speak public comment card located on the table in the back of the chambers and hand it to me. And at this time, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo.
Here.
Councilman Varden.
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe.
Here.
Councilwoman Talley.
Here.
Councilman Wadsworth.
Here.
Councilwoman Williams.
Here.
Okay, and I see that Councilman Wilson is absent. Is he coming?
I think he's coming.
He's on his way? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Tonight's council meeting agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda, 2 minutes, 3 petitioner, 4 chairperson's report, 5 mayor's report, 6 clerk's report, 7 treasurer's report, 8 public comment, 9 unfinished business, 10 new business, 11 warrant, 12 communication, and number 13 is adjournment. And a motion will be in order to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved to accept the city council regular meeting agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the agenda as presented. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Number 2, minutes. Agenda item 2A, for approval of the minutes from the regular meeting held on Monday, July 22nd, 2024 at 7:30 p.m.
Mr. Chairman,
Wadsworth?
I'm going to move that we approve the regular minutes from the council meeting that was held on July 22nd at 7:30.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of minutes from our regular meeting held on Monday, July 22nd, 2024 at 7:30. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair abstained. Motion approved.
Thank you, council. Agenda item 2B, for approval are the minutes from the special meeting executive closed session held on Monday, July 22nd, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. to discuss attorney-client privileged communications and a special meeting public hearing held on Monday, July 22nd, 2024 at 7 o'clock p.m. That was to hear objections and/or comments to the proposed special assessment roll for the Merriman, Wickham, Wick, Smith, and Binding Roads Enhancement District.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to move that we approve the minutes from the special meeting and executive closed session that was held on Monday, the 22nd of July at 6:30. And I'm also going to move that we approve the minutes from the public hearing that was held on July 22nd at 7 p.m.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the minutes from our special meeting, executive closed session on July 22nd at 6:30 p.m. to discuss attorney-client privileges, communications, and special meeting. Public hearing held on Monday, July 27 at 7 p.m. to hear objection and oral comments to proposed special assessment rolls for the Merriman, Wickham, Wick, Smith, and Binding Roads Enhancement District. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Chair abstained. Motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. There are no petitioners on tonight's agenda. Takes us to number 4, the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, I'd just like to congratulate Mr. Wilson on his election as our county commissioner. Congratulations, Mr. Wilson, on your election.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
And with that, the chair has no report tonight.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I will ask for a motion to accept your report.
I second that motion.
With that, Ms. Roscoe, with that, Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Williams, you want to?
Yes. I would just like to make a motion that we set a study session for the discussion and the updates on the honorary sign dedication.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Williams, supported by Mr. Wilson, for a study session. Mr. Wilson? Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved. That concludes the chairperson's report. It was motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Motion approved. Thank you.
Thank you, City Council. Takes us to number 5, the mayor's report. And presenting the mayor's report this evening is our Chief of Staff, Ms. Julie Waytelko.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. Good evening, City Council, and to our audience this evening and those listening at home. Before I get into the mayor's report, we've got a few things to cover. First one is we'll provide an update from the mayor's office from our own Vanessa Tolliver on upcoming events.
Hello, I'm Vanessa Tolliver, and here are some events happening in Romulus. Join us on Friday, August 23rd, for an end-of-the-summer Barbie Beach Bash. The fun will begin at 7 p.m. at Historical Park with games and a contest for the best dressed Barbie in Kent and more. The evening will conclude with a showing of the Barbie movie at dusk. This will be the last movie in the R District for the season. The Romulus Goodfellows will begin accepting applications for assistance on September 1st. Applications will be available at City Hall or online. St. John's Lodge number 44 will hold their annual Back to School Youth Day event on Saturday, August 31st at the Coleman Center on Beverly Road. The event will run from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. The next One Romulus community meeting, hosted by our very own Mayor Robert McCray, will take place on Wednesday, September 18th at the Pentecostal Baptist Church, beginning at 6 p.m. Save the date, the 26th annual Romulus Ponca Festival will take place on September 20th through the 22nd. Stay tuned for more information in the coming weeks. The Fall Free Citywide Yard Sale will be held September 26th through the 29th. You can register at the clerk's office or on our website. Thanks everyone, and remember to like and share us on Facebook and YouTube, or visit the website for more information. Have yourself a great night. Thank
you, Vanessa. Next, I'd like to ask our DDA Director, Jerry Freyer, to come up. He wants to share some information on our event we had Friday evening.
All right. Good evening, Madam City Clerk, City Council, and Chief of Staff Julie. I just want to thank the city, the community, residents, non-residents, all of our volunteers, our event committee, and our vendors for a very successful 2024 Sounds in Our District. It started off in June with Romulus Alumni Night, ended with 70 Shagadelics. So I just want to say very great 2024 Sounds in Our District, and I just wanted to thank everybody who had a hand in it or touched us one way or another. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it, and thank you. We'll continue to make great things happen here in Romulus. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. And as you'll see, Mike's displayed the picture from Friday evening from some of our attendees that were in their fun 70s wear. So it was a great time had by all. Next, I want to mention, wish a happy belated birthday to our own Councilwoman Virginia Williams. She had a birthday last week. And she shares that birthday with a very special lady, very near and dear to our hearts, our former Councilwoman Eva Webb. It was her birthday as well. So I want to keep her in our thoughts as well. A few other notes to mention to City Council. Sheets is getting ready to open. We're very excited. And actually, they're going to be doing their opening. The plan is August 27th. They're going to open their doors for business. They're looking to do a formal ribbon cutting probably in October. I got word on that this evening, so no date has been set yet, but we'll keep you apprised on that. But you'll be able to go ahead and go in there and start visiting Sheets, and then we'll do a formal ribbon cutting. They're just ready to get going, and we're excited to have that happening here in our community. Also, there was a couple of action items, requests from council that I did leave for you this evening at your chairs. The first was a request to follow up on information that you had requested at the July 22nd council meeting, which was just kind of a list of those local Romulus businesses that have received the small business grant. So this is where we're at as of about a week ago, and they're still working on that. There's still some funds available, so that will continue. And then also, we thought it was kind of important, you've got a few requests for items that were approved in the new fiscal year budget for purchases for fleet. But we like to keep you informed, and we also like to show you how well we extend our fleet out. So you've got a whole packet there with pictures and mileage, and so we'll be asking you to consider those under the mayor's report this evening. But we thought it was valuable for you to have that information in front of you as well. Also wanted to mention, not only to council, but also to our residents, you should have received by now our third quarter newsletter, which covers the months of August, September, and October. And believe it or not, Mike and I will start working on the November one here pretty quick. So if you have anything you want to add in that newsletter or things you'd like to see, please let us know. We're very proud of what came out, and there's a full detailed listing in there about Pumpkin Festival and a lot of other events coming up. So there's always something exciting happening in Romulus, so hang on to that newsletter. And if for some reason you didn't receive it, give us a call. We'll make sure that, that gets corrected. Last but not least, just I think it's important to kind of just mention on behalf of the mayor, when I was talking to him earlier today, he just really appreciates all the well wishes. If he hits his goal today, he should be crossing into Canada sometime tonight. So your thoughts and prayers and comments, and he's been still keeping in touch and working here. Mayor's job is 24/7, but we've told him to stop calling me from the Harley, but just keep him in your thoughts and prayers, and we appreciate everybody's well wishes.
Amen.
Okay, and with that said, I'll get into the mayor's action items this evening. The first one presented to council, item 5A, is the sole source striker load system and equipment, and this is for our fire department. And with council's concurrence, we're requesting authorization for the purchase of strikers, load system, and equipment for the Romulus Fire Department at a total cost of $108,953.59. This is done under the terms of the sole source purchase exception in our purchasing ordinance, and it should be mentioned that this came in slightly less than what was budgeted and approved, so.
Through the chair,
Ms. Talley?
I'd like to make that motion to concur with administration and authorize the purchase of the strikers load system and equipment for the Romulus Fire Department at the total cost of $108,953.59 under the terms of the sole source purchases exception in section 39-11 subsection D subsection 1C1 of the Romulus purchasing ordinance.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for the sole source striker load system and equipment. Any discussion?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes, I spoke with Ken, the fire chief, and he explained the reason for these vehicles, and also, or this vehicle, and also the savings by the way the city is actually purchasing this vehicle, the savings that the city will save. So thank you for looking for savings and also vehicles that will get the job done.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, Council. The next item under the Mayor's Report, 5B, is a request to piggyback on the MPP Gov contract for the purchase of 27 sets of personal protective equipment for the Romulus Fire Department. And again, with your concurrence, we will be requesting to purchase the 27 sets of PPE for the Romulus Fire Department for a total cost of $94,500 from Phoenix Safety Outfitters.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to move that we approve the piggyback of the NPP government contract for the purchase of 27 sets of personal equipment protection for the fire department.
I second that motion.
Been motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley, to piggyback on NPP government contract for the purchase of 27 sets of personal protective equipment for RFD. Any discussion?
Yes. I also spoke with Ken, our fire chief, and he explained to me that this particular item that we're voting on tonight is pertaining to the new updated gear for the firefighters. And it's something that they need. I mean, I'm not for sure how old the gear is that they're using now, but I'm sure it's outdated and it's needed. And so, and it's not coming from the general fund, it's coming from a grant. And so I totally agree that we need to keep our firemen in safety gear. Thank you for explaining that, Chief. Thank you, John.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion is approved.
Thank you. Item 5C is a request to piggyback on the My Deal contract for the purchase of two 2024 Ford Bronco Sports, and those will be utilized by the building department. And with council's concurrence, that would be a request to piggyback on the My Deal contract 07B7700179 for the purchase of two 2024 Ford Bronco Sports in the amount of $61,730 through Bob Maxey Ford to replace two 2014 Ford Escapes currently being used by the building department.
Mr. Chair,
Ms. Roscoe?
I'll make that motion to concur with administration and consent to piggyback on the My Deal contract number 07B7700179 for the purchase of two 2024 Ford Bronco Sports in the amount of $61,730 with Bob Maxey Ford to replace two of the 2014 Ford Escapes currently being used by the building department.
I second that motion.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, to piggyback on My Deal contract for the purchase of two 2024 Ford Bronco Sports Building Department. Any discussion?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes, I had a concern about the Bronco Sports. I was thinking, we're sports, why we have to do sports? But the deal that they're getting going, using the My Deal, is actually only $29,795, and for $61,000 to get two vehicles, that is a deal. And I spoke with the building director, and he informed me that those two vehicles that they're replacing have over 150,000 miles on it. And you know, just like with our own vehicles, they start breaking down, you put more money in it than it's worth. And so I agree that we replace them. The other two vehicles, they'll be replacing, they're looking at maybe auctioning those vehicles off in that fund. That money will go back into the fund. So I totally agree that it's time to replace them. Thank you.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. The next request, item 5D, is a request to piggyback on the My Deal contract and Rochester Hills Cooperative Contract for the purchase of one Freightliner conventional chassis truck with a Monroe 10-foot dump body with plows and salt spreader attachments for the Department of Public Works. With council's concurrence, for the purchase of Freightliner chassis, an extended warranty would be a total cost of $108,589. And additionally, we're requesting to piggyback on the My Deal contract 200000034, I think I could skip a zero, for the purchase of Monroe 10-foot dump body with plow and salt spreader attachments for the 108 SD Plus chassis from Truck and Trailer Specialties, Inc., for a total cost of $138,246. Should council concur, there's 2 motions required for this purchase.
Mr. Chair,
Ms. Roscoe?
I'll make that first motion to concur with administration and consent to the piggyback on the Rochester Hills Cooperative Contract RFP-RH-20-023 for the purchase of one 2026 108 SD Plus Freightliner chassis with extended warranty for a total cost of $108,589.
I second that motion.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, to concur with administration and consent to the piggyback on Rochester Hill Corporate Contract RFP RH 20-023 for the purchase of one 2026 108 SD Plus Freightliner chassis with extended warranty for a total cost of $108,589. Any discussion?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
I would just make a suggestion because I have so many residents, including myself, complaining about when it's time to plow the roads, how you can plow your driveway and the truck comes along and pile everything back up. So maybe if we can get one of them zero turns to where when they get to the driveway, I know it'll take a little bit more time, but especially for the seniors. You know, if we can get something on that brand new truck to maybe do a zero turn to keep it from bagging up the snow up in everybody's driveway. Because once they do it, that snow is so hard and it's harder to get it out than it was to get it out the first time. So that's just a suggestion with that new vehicle. Thank you.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
And there is a second motion requested for this
Oh,
item.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that second motion to concur with the administration and consent to the piggyback on the My Deal contract number 20000000034 for the purchase of the Monroe 10-foot dump body with plow and salt spreader attachments for the 108 SD Plus chassis from Truck and Trailer Specialties Incorporated for a total cost of $138,246.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, to concur with the administration and consent to piggyback on My Deal contract number 2, a lot of zeros, and 34 that councilperson mentioned, for the purchase of the Monroe 10 dump body with plow and salt spreader attachments for the 108 SD Plus chassis from Truck and Trailer Specialties Incorporated for a total cost of $138,246. Any discussion? No discussion? Roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you, council. Item 5E under the mayor's report is also a request to piggyback on the My Deal contract, and this is for the purchase of a 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 HD 4x4 dump truck with snowplow. With council's concurrence, we would be asking to piggyback on the My Deal contract number 071B7700178 to purchase one 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 HD 4x4 dump truck with plow for the price of $82,595 from Todd Wenzel Chevrolet for the Department of Public Works.
Through the chair,
Ms. Talley?
I'd like to make that motion to concur with administration and consent to piggyback on the My Deal contract number 071B77000178 to purchase one 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 HD 4x4 dump truck with plow for the price of $82,595 $595 from Todd Winslow Chevrolet for the Department of Public Works.
Support.
Been motion by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to piggyback on my deal contract 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 HD 4x4 dump truck with snow plow. Any discussion?
Yes. I would, what's the difference between the one we just approved and this one?
I'll let Roberto come up and discuss that.
Good evening, Council. So this vehicle is going to be isolated to the sanitation department, although it's being equipped with snowplow equipment, because we just don't buy anything anymore unless it has snowplow equipment on it, because we can use it in cul-de-sacs, smaller streets, facility parking lots, our Parks and Recs department, so we use it across the board at all of our city-owned jurisdiction. So this truck is a smaller truck.
Oh, small.
Okay, it's not the large truck that, you know, we had come before us. And you can see by the price difference, it's significantly cheaper than the one that was just approved in the, I think it was item D motion.
Yeah, because I noticed that, like, some of the equipment that's on here, it's Western 10-inch wide out steel plow. So do it have like that zero turn where it can do what I was talking about the other one?
Right, so, you know, we could have a whole different discussion about that.
I mean, I'm just saying it.
It won't.
It won't.
And, you know, every municipality deals with the windrow that happens with snow plowing. It's just a difficult thing to get around. That's not something that's easily solvable, but I understand what you're saying. And I understand the predicament it puts on our citizens. It's just, you know, I have to deal with it at my house, in my community, and I'm not saying it's acceptable. It's the nature of the business.
But if we can just look into, because with technology nowadays, there's so many things that you can add on, even after you buy it, add on to try to alleviate some of it. Not that you're gonna get rid of all of it, but just some of it, especially for our seniors. I mean, I would want you not to block my driveway too, but I definitely consider the seniors that have to either pay someone to go back and plow it out. But I was just wondering, because I noticed all the extra equipment that's going on this truck. So, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. We outfit everything now, even our foreman trucks, or I should say our crew leader trucks. We outfit them too with plows if we can.
Okay, thank you.
And just another side note, I have to apologize about the temperature in this room tonight. I didn't realize it was this hot. We've been struggling with something down in the clerk's office, not that it's the clerk's fault or anything like that, just with our vendor trying to get the air temperature correct in here. Looks like it failed today, but sorry about that for the viewing audience and council tonight.
Yeah, because are you only dealing with one company? Because this has been going on for a while, and I'm up here, you know, I got the fan going, I'm still hot.
Yeah, you know, so we only have one vendor for our HVAC system citywide. What we are dealing with is, if you recall, lack of maintenance from our previous vendor. A lot of catch-up. Downstairs, the units that run this air temperature were never serviced. It created a huge problem. Those units had to come down from the ceiling. Before they could come down from the ceiling, all the internet cabling for this whole building had to be moved. It was a big endeavor. So again, we apologize for it.
Do they have any idea, or do you have any idea?
The units are fixed. Why we have this temperature like this today, I don't know why, but I'm going to have it looked into tomorrow morning ASAP.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, Council. Item 5F is a request for a reconstruction of Grant Road from the CSX Railroad to Wayne Road, and this is through a State of Michigan contract agreement with the City of Romulus. And with Council's concurrence, it would be to authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into the grant agreement between the State of Michigan, MDOT, and the City of Romulus for reconstruction of Grant Road from the CSX Railroad to Wayne Road with the awarded federal funding in the amount of $499,915, and the city's local match for this project is $173,135.
Mr. Chairman,
Wadsworth.
I'm going to move that we approve the reconstruction of Grant Road from the CSX Railroad to Wayne Road, and the contract is with the state of Michigan, and I got a couple questions.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, for reconstruction of Grant Road from CSX Railroad to Wayne Road, State of Michigan contract agreement with the City of Romulus. Discussion, Mr. Wadsworth.
If I can, to the chair, why aren't we going to 5 points with this?
We already have in the past.
Yeah, okay.
So if you recall back in, I believe it was 2013, we did half of the road from
Yeah, vaguely.
the railroad tracks to 5 points. We did that piece.
Okay.
And now we're getting funding to do the other piece. It came a little bit late. This was earmarked from Lansing. Kind of a good opportunity that fell in our lap, but we were trying to pursue this other half for a number of years.
Okay, what are we talking as far as from start to finish? How long?
So the window of opportunity for the contractor, although we're awarding this contract and it's being bid out this September, because it's an earmark, it has to be obligated by September 30th. Construction is not going to start until June after the school year of 2025.
Okay.
So the window of opportunity is between June and end of August before school, after school gets out, before school starts. So we're not impacting.
Okay, my biggest, and one of my, I would say would be the biggest concern, is they come, they start, they go away. Are we going to, have the same problem with this, or?
Absolutely not. No, so.
I mean, I think about Wick Road, I think,
Yeah, the Wick Road, GLWA project, that one, it just completely out of our hands. But
Right.
the city managed contracts, I can tell you that I had a lot of phone calls from the public that were happy about the 3 projects we had on North Line Road this summer, the Huron River Estates in Niagara South. We were in and out of those areas very quickly.
Good.
We also had the HMA project with Herman and Goddard. So, we've been doing pretty good at low impact and social disruption for the citizens.
And my last question, are the railroad tracks, they're going to be fixed eventually?
Eventually, there's a lot of correspondence out of the mayor's office, my office, our legislators, applying pressure to CSX. They did come in and clean up from the railroad derailment, but they still have to address the railroad crossings, which is North Line and, Tobine,
Goddard.
and Goddard, and Bibbins, and Grant.
Is that going to happen before the end of the year?
We were told that this summer, the line track alignment car was down south, like Alabama or something, and it had to make its way up to the north before they could start it. We've put correspondence out, we haven't heard anything back.
Okay, fine. That was kind of getting off track from this.
Yep. No.
Okay.
Ms.
Thank you.
Roscoe, Ms. Roscoe, and then Ms. Abdo.
He just answered
Then Ms. Rose.
with Councilman Wadsworth's questions. You just answered all my questions. Thank you.
My comment first has to do with the railroad. Roberto gave me an email address, and I've been emailing them regularly. I haven't heard from them, but I would encourage council to do the same thing. Anybody in council, he can send you the email address addressing the issues of our railroad crossings, because they're doing it backwards. They should be up in Michigan first, and they could do Alabama later before the weather changes. My next question is, what is the regulation on trucks? I'm getting calls from people on Grant Road, and I live in that area, about the trucks that are just going up and down Grant Road. Isn't that considered a residential road?
Grant is a major road, so it's not considered a resident, like a local road. Grant Road is actually one of our major roads. Now, it's a lower volume traffic than some of our other major classifications, but it is a major road.
How can that be changed? Because I'm just looking at when I was driving Goddard into Taylor, and as soon as I crossed over Middle Belt, there were signs everywhere, or Inkster Road rather, there were signs everywhere, no trucks allowed, residential area. And the area in Grant Road between Five Points and the school, it's all residents. And these trucks are just tearing down there. And
Well, I will tell you that we do have some commercial properties on Grant Road, so it's it's walking a fine line. If you go back to local, and we petition the state to go back to local, there's a lot of trade-offs to that, and it could become problematic.
at the lower end of Grant Road near Wayne, but up near between Five Points and the school district is all residential.
Right, the property south of Grant Road, I don't know the zoning of that might be commercial.
Well, I think you're going to see some people petitioning to have that done, and I'm encouraging it to be
We can
residential.
definitely look into it, but just as a warning that we got to look at all aspects of it.
Yeah, but I
And
think we
I'm
need
not
to
too
listen to
sure
our
what-
residents first.
Absolutely, I get it. I get it.
Through the chair.
Ms. Williams.
Oh, okay, no, go ahead.
You said something about North Line, and I noticed how quick North Line, it started with 2 lanes, and now that it's finished, it's 4 lanes. So whoever did that work, I would love for you to reach out to them to do Wayne Road. For whatever the money we're gonna spend on Wayne Road, because the North Line was 2 lanes,
Yeah.
and now it's 4 lanes, and it was done really quick.
Yeah, so North Line was, that section was a 5-lane section. We went back with a 5-lane section. I have a meeting set up Friday morning with state officials regarding, and I'm assuming you're alluding to the earmark that we received recently.
Right, well, so I'm saying North Line between, what is that, Middle Belt and Inkster Road?
Yeah.
Because you wasn't here, but back in the day, Wayne Road from Van Born to Ecorse was 4 lanes.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened that it shrunk down to 2 lanes, but we need to open that back up. Thank you.
Ms. Talley?
Yeah, mine is just administrative question, just clarity, and probably something I probably asked a long time ago. When we talk about our matching parts, that just for the engineering and the engineering and, and the inspection, stuff like that, is that our match that we put into the project, or what is it?
On page,
10% or?
On page 8, the total construction estimate, not including construction services, is $673,000.
Right.
The earmark that we received from Lansing is $499. So the difference of the $173, that's what we pay out of the roads fund.
Okay.
And then inspection services would be separate on top of that.
It is.
This project didn't have qualifying or participating construction services. Again, it's the way this kind of came about. It is an earmark that was in our community in the past. We just happened to capture it with SEMCOG and kind of loop it back into our city, as opposed to it being spent elsewhere in Wayne County.
Okay.
But that was the cap max, was the $499.
Was the $499, so we got the 173 match in addition to,
The construction services.
yeah, okay, I just want to make sure I was clear. Thank you.
Any other discussion from council? No other?
Thank you.
Thank you, Roberto. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Under the mayor's report, item 5G, the first request is for introduction of budget amendment 2425-1. And with council's concurrence, this would be to introduce budget amendment 2425-1 to recognize fiscal year 23-24 donation revenue and using fund balance approved by the library board on July 15th of 2024.
Through the chair.
Ms. Talley?
I'd like to make that motion to concur with the administration and introduce Budget Amendment 24/25-1 to recognize fiscal year 23/24 donation revenue and using fund balance approved by the Library Board on July 15, 2024.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Abdo, for introduction of Budget Amendment 24/25-1. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Mayor's report item number 5H is introduction of Budget Amendment 2425-3. And with council's concurrence, this would be to introduce this budget amendment for sidewalk renovations for the downtown Pocket Park.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion for introduction of Budget Amendment 24/25-3 for the sidewalk renovations for the downtown Pocket Park.
I second that motion with a question.
Been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for introduction of a Budget Amendment 24/25-3. Discussion, Ms. Talley.
Yes, Jerry, I have no clue what Pocket Park is.
So that is that little alleyway across from the Artisan
Artisan,
Reserve there.
okay.
Yeah, it's a Pocket Park alleyway.
Okay.
That's where 36539 building was at.
Okay, that's what I thought it was, but I never heard it called that before.
Yeah.
Did we just name it that?
Well, we haven't really come up with a name yet.
Okay.
That'll be part as we move forward, trying to, look at some other options with some
Okay.
fencing and then naming down the road.
I mean, it's appropriate, so, thank you.
No, you're welcome, thank you.
Ms. Williams?
Jerry,
One more.
so you're putting sidewalks, I mean, how wide is this? I haven't seen
So we're
it.
putting some pads in there for food trucks on the back end of it. So when the food trucks pull in, they'll actually be on an actual footing and a pad rather than just grass and sinking it.
Oh, okay, so it's just not for sidewalks, it's also?
Correct, yeah, it's just concrete work that's being done inside the alley.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
There's no other discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Mayor's report item 5I is introduction of Budget Amendment 2425-5. And this request of council would be to recognize additional donations for the Pumpkin Festival event and corresponding additional expenditures.
You got it?
Go ahead.
Okay. Through the chair,
Ms. Talley?
I'd like to make that motion to concur with the administration and introduce Budget Amendment 24/25-5 to recognize additional donations for the Pumpkin Festival event and corresponding additional expenditures.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Roscoe, introduction of Budget Amendment 24/25-5. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Abdo,
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. Mayor's report item 5J is also an introduction of Budget Amendment 2425-6. And this request is to introduce Budget Amendment 2425-6 to allocate funds to purchase copiers for various city departments to prevent interest expense.
Through the chair,
Ms. Talley?
I'd like to make that motion, concur with the administration, and introduce Budget Amendment 24/25-6 to allocate funds to purchase copiers for various city departments to prevent interest expense.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Mr. Wadsworth. Introduction of Budget Amendment 24/25-6. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, Ms. Williams?
Yes, so it's a total of 4 copiers that we'll be purchasing for 4 different departments.
Gary, I'll have Gary come up real quick, our Assistant Finance Director.
Hi.
Council, good evening. We're actually going to end up getting 6 total copiers. what we did was we budgeted to lease them, and then the interest rate was so high, we changed paths midstream. Maria Ferris and Steve and a couple of other people noticed the contract, and the interest was just out of hand. So rather than leasing them, we're doing the budget amendments to buy them all at once.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion is approved.
Thank you, City Council, and that will conclude the mayor's report this evening.
Thank you, Chief of Staff.
Number 6 is the clerk's report. I have one action item. But first, I have just a couple of announcements and some acknowledgements. First, we'd like to congratulate Councilman Wilson on his election. Also, just to acknowledge all the 3,893 voters that came out and participated in our August primary election. Also, elections have become a little bit more involved and complicated, and there's so many layers to election. It's not just election day anymore and absentee ballots. We actually have early voting and several different counting boards and things which are required by Michigan election law. So it definitely takes a village and a team to have successful elections. I first would, again, all the electors here in Romulus, I'd like to acknowledge all of our election inspectors. They were amazing, a lot of work. It's really like 11 days of elections, like 11 days, every day an election, which includes early voting. So all of the early voting staff, to the receiving boards, AV counting boards, early voting counting boards, to our election liaisons, just want to say thank you. And then to the administration, chief of staff, and to all the department heads. It involves police and fire, DPW, IT, you name it. It involves everyone now. We kind of touch everyone, and going back and forth between the court and the building, and also I mentioned about, Roberto mentioned about the work that's being done by Jim. We were impacted by that because that whole unit is in our elections equipment, so we had to move everything out. There was a lot going on, but everyone really worked together collaboratively. So that, I just wanted to reach out and say thank you to Romulus Community Schools, to the staff over at Romulus Athletic Center, Rose, the Senior Center, West Village Estates, and say thank you because those are our polling locations. So I want to say thank you there. And then, again, to my amazing team down in the clerk's office. They worked really, really hard. And this is not a one-man show. In fact, right now, there's a lot of vacancies right now, job openings for clerks, because no one wants the job anymore because it's a lot of work. And so, but I just have to acknowledge them because they were just phenomenal, and I feel so blessed to have such an amazing team in the clerk's office. Our deputy clerk, which is not here, which is taking so much deserved rest and time, DeJohn Hockenhall, to Sean Mullins, oh my goodness, with the equipment and back and forth and just putting in the hours, Ann Lammers, to Jessica Wilhoit, to Rainey Westmoreland, just handling everything and all of us, meeting all of the deadlines, which are a lot of deadlines. But I just want to acknowledge all of these individuals, just to say thank you. We really appreciate it. And to all of you, the electeds that came out to help. Kathy Abdo is always faithful about providing cookies. She always has cookies. Councilman Talley. We used a lot of staff here from City Hall to help us and work in the election and the process, and we found out that it makes a more efficient transition in working the elections when we utilize the staff and the team and the resources that we have. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you to everyone in your support. And with that, I have one action item, and That is 6A. And for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 24/25-2. And this is to approve, this is for the amendment in the amount of $517,184.72 to recognize fiscal year 23-24 federal SBA earmark revenue and expenditures extension for the period through December 31st, 2024. This amendment was introduced at the July 22nd, 2024 regular council meeting.
Mr. Chair, I'll make that motion for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 24/25-2 in the amount of $517,184.72 to recognize the fiscal year 23-24 federal SBA earmark revenue expenditures extension for the period through December 31st, 2024.
Support.
The motion by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Mr. Wadsworth. Second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 24/25-2. Any discussion? Hearing none. Discussion, please.
I just have one question. I know this is the second reading, but what does this detail? I know it's a grant.
Honestly, Councilwoman, I cannot answer that because it just shows up under my report in order just for you all to approve it for the second reading. That would have to come from the Finance Department to explain this budget amendment and what it's for.
Like I say, I clearly see that it is grant money that we receive, so it's being moved from one and being spent in a
If I may, through the chair, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman. So this was the federal grant that we received for the small business grants that we're doing. And if you recall, last week there was a request, that's why I provided the list of who's been assisted to date. So they're still working on that, but we needed to roll this increments funds over to the next fiscal year.
Them numbers kind of ring a bell when Kevin said last week that it was 500 and something left. Thank you, Chief of Staff.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Clerk.
Thank you, Council. That concludes the clerk's report.
Okay, Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize roll call hadn't been taken. I'm so sorry. Now it concludes the clerk's report. There is no treasurer's report.
Okay.
So that takes us to number 8, public comment. And this is the portion of the agenda for those who are in the audience and who would like to address the city council. The rules to address council can be found on the back of the meeting agenda. If you would like to address city council, please raise your hand, and after being acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium and state your name. Please note, members of the public who submitted a public comment card will be called upon first. You will have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time will be upon the consent of the chairperson. Mr. Chair and council, we do have 2 written requests, and our first written request is coming from Miss Christina McIntyre. I'm sorry, I knew I'd messed that up. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Hi. This is the first time I've ever been to a city council meeting.
Awesome.
I grew up in Romulus. I moved back in 2018. I purchased a home in the Meadows. I don't know what they actually call it. That's what it was called when I was growing up. For 6 years, I have been dealing with a neighbor that has a disgusting yard. I have pictures. We have reached out to the ordinance numerous times. I'm afraid to let my grandchildren play in my backyard because of mice and rats. We've been told that there's been a court order issued for someone to come in and clean it up. It has still not been cleaned up. There is a shed, a boat, a camper. Nothing has been moved in 6 years, almost 6 years. I would like to ask, what do we do? I've been told by the ordinance, there's nothing they can do. Go to the county. I go to the county, there's nothing they can do. I went out and got some pictures today, standing in my driveway behind my husband's Jeep. I can smell a stench coming from the house. I can't sit out front. I can't enjoy my backyard. What else do we do? Anybody, please come stay at my house for a week. Have friends and family over and see this. We've sent pictures. I have pictures. My neighbor who came. The mice crossed the street into her yard. My neighbor's behind me on the other street. It goes into their yard. What else can we do? Who else do I reach out to get this taken care of?
John?
Yes,
Just, you shouldn't be told by the ordinance department that there's nothing we can do. I mean, and I think the administration will look into that. I mean, if they have a boat or a recreation vehicle that's inoperable, it can't be left there.
There's also what is it, a Suburban? That has been sitting there. I tried
It's a vehicle?
with the neighbor, and even some of my friends have said, hey, you should clean up, we shouldn't have to, nothing's been done. They say they get a ticket, and they pay the ticket. They get a ticket, they pay the ticket, and that's all that's done.
If I may, through the chair, and obviously if it's under code enforcement, and they do issue tickets and they pay them, but if I could, I'd like to ask Jerry Freer if he can get your information for me. I'm the mayor's chief of staff. I'll be calling you in the morning. Okay? And if you can get all the names and addresses, or, you know what, actually, Ellen, is that all on there?
Yes.
Okay, our city clerk has it, so I'll be contacting you in the morning, okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
In the meanwhile, through the chair, please.
Yes, go ahead, Mr.
Ma'am, your name,
I'm sorry,
no
my
disrespect,
name's Christina.
but being the incoming county commissioner, this is something I definitely want to address. And it's absolutely, let me be kind here, ridiculous, if I could say that you've been waiting this long to try and get this issue resolved. So I don't assume office until January 2nd, but in the meanwhile, I'm the commissioner-elect, and I will be at your home if I'll get the information from Ellen Craig Bragg, and we'll take a look and see what's going on over there and see if we can get your issue resolved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very much.
And what's your name again, ma'am?
Christina McIntyre, she's got the spelling.
Okay,
of it.
okay, well, thank you, okay. I'll be contacting you as well within 24 hours.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you.
Through the chair.
Yes, Ms.
And I
Talley.
just want to say, Ms. Green, I know I was dealing with Jeff Kemp with a, probably not too far from probably where you stay, and it was a bit of a process, but they finally got it rectified, so I'm sure we'll be talking to Jeff. I'm really kind of surprised, because he's usually pretty good about that, but, yeah, just know that, I know.
At first, we were short on ordinance people.
Okay.
So I understood,
Right,
getting somebody out there, but now we have ordinance people.
right.
And if there's a court order that has been ruled that they could go and clean it up and charge it to them, why hasn't it been done yet?
No, and I hear you. And the same case was this resident I was dealing with on your same side of town. Jeff was really, it took a while, and they got the court order and everything too. It was a process, and the resident kept texting me, and we were just going back and forth. Okay, just hang with me, hang with me, hang with me, hang with me. So I'm gonna hang a little while longer, just a little bit more, because I'm sure Julie's going to get that worked out, and we'll follow up at the next council meeting. Okay, thank you, Chris.
One
Before
more,
you go,
ma'am.
I just want you to know, because I've dealt with a lot of issues like this, I can guarantee you, anytime, any resident that's out there listening, because the ordinance department, the building department, any other department has to make sure that they go through the mayor's office. Anytime, and you can let your neighbors know, that you have an issue and you don't feel like it's being resolved, please contact the mayor's office, contact the mayor's chief of staff. She is really good at getting on top of things. I can put 100% behind that. So don't feel that you're being ignored. Don't feel that we don't care. I wouldn't want to live like that. And my heart goes out to you, but I guarantee you, when Ms. Watoka, the mayor's chief of staff, contact you tomorrow morning, there will be some form of action. You're welcome.
Thank you all very much.
But thanks for coming.
Absolutely, I'll be back again.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Christina. Through the chair, just quickly.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Wilson.
It's the question. How long have we been apprised of her circumstances over on Woodmont? Do we have any idea when she first brought it to our attention?
I
Just curious.
believe that I am aware of this one. You know, again, it gets into where they're at in that court order and the cleanup, and the solutions are, you know, we're all about trying to solve problems and
Okay.
creative solutions, but sometimes it's just not as fast as we want it to be. But let me get the details, and we definitely will get back with you and find out where we're at in the process, so.
All right.
And I'll update council as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Council, we have another written request, and this is Miss Teresa Strong.
That's my neighbor. But my question, I just want to know, I want some information, actually. We have a neighbor that, we know that she's going through some mental problems. We know this. We've talked to Romulus Police. Actually, my person is on the other side of me. And, you know, she gets up in the morning, she screams where they can hear it on the other side of the street. And she just talks to herself. And I know that it's a mental thing.
Thank you.
But I want to know what can I do to help, besides calling the police on her all the time. I mean, the police officers now, and I love the police, but at the same time, I don't want them to know me. And they know me when they see me. They're, oh, hey, Miss Strong, oh, you live next door to the toilet lady, or you live next door, you know. It's not a great feeling for them to know you. But, so I want to know, what can I do? Because we know that it is a mental problem. We do know that. And we just, is there somebody else? Because, like she said, we called the ordinance department. They came out, they've had toilets removed. Now she has a whole list of signs that faces my house. It goes from the end of the street all the way up. She moved her trash cans to where it's out in the front. She built a whole thing out there. We all let it go because we all knew that it was a mental thing. But she threatens a lot. In the morning when she's out talking to herself, and I know that she has weapons, Officer Fairhart, when he was here, he, put a protection order against her because I actually had to go and just give him everything that I had, which was text that was threatening me, pictures of guns, pictures, her talking outside and throwing things across my fence. And so, and now he's gone. So and it did last for a year already, had this protection order against her because she used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and back her truck up and open up all her doors and play her music really loud. So they did stop that. But now she gets up at, what do you say, about what time? Yeah, about 6 in the morning, and she just talks. She tells the whole neighborhood off. And we all know it's a mental thing. And I don't feel that I should keep bothering Romulus Police over it because when they come, there's nothing they can do. And when they come, it just fires her up.
Yes, Ms.
It kicks her to another level.
Yeah.
Ms. Talley?
So Teresa, you from First Baptist, aren't you?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I remember you from there. But Julie, don't we have a division, well, a program within the PD, COPE? And so I guess if they're going out there, why isn't that being offered?
Without having all the details,
Yeah.
and obviously,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's got to be some, obviously,
Yeah.
run reports, so.
We have several police reports.
Yeah.
So, and
Somebody
there
should
are,
be-
we've kind of partnered with even other communities as far
Okay.
as for some mental health resources. So again, I believe that you've turned your information into our city clerk. And I'll be talking with our chief of police about that in the morning, because there should be some resources
Yeah.
that are available to her if it's been well documented. But let me look into that one, and you'll be hearing from me. I think Jerry just gave you my card as well, so
Yes.
I'll get your information and get you in contact with chief of police, Chief Fanis, and see what we can find out, so.
Okay, because I'm worried, and my house is on the corner, and if the school, the kids catch the bus there.
Okay.
So I really worry about her having weapons and these kids going to the bus stop.
Mr. Wadsworth?
If I can, does this individual live by themselves?
Now she does. She used to have.
See, that's the biggest problem. they can reach out and recommend something for her, but if she doesn't, take it, that term, there's nothing we can do. That should have said that twice.
Yeah.
But, I mean, has she got family members that you know that we could
She
contact?
do have two, she had a son and a daughter. I haven't seen her son in, well, she jumped on her son a couple of months
No,
ago, so I
that's,
haven't seen him. The daughter comes, but she only stays no more than, to run in and to leave.
Well,
Okay.
So, she don't really have any, and I don't know too many of her other family members to contact. And I would
it's a
kinda
very
be-
difficult thing, very
Yeah,
difficult.
I would be kind of scared to contact her family members,
Yeah.
me
Okay.
myself personally, because she really don't like me.
But possibly that somebody in our government here could make contact with them.
Yeah,
Okay,
and we know
fine.
that it's a mental issue. I mean, she used to work and she had a job and everything, so.
It's a
over the
very
last
difficult
3 or 4
thing, it's a very
years-
difficult
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So through the chair, quickly, again, John, thank you. Do we know if the Wayne County Mental Health Department has been notified? And do we know, Julie, if they've been working in unison with the local municipality here to try and address this concern? Because obviously, it could become quickly a health and safety issue. Somebody can get hurt. And they always talk about on television, mental health, people shooting folks and slapping people, and we need to make sure that...
My family is, I can't go outside in the
Okay,
backyard.
so this, and how long has this been going on again? Is that about as long as Christina back
Actually,
here?
mine has been going on for the last 4 to 5 years.
Years. Okay, but you live in the same hood, same neighborhood as Christina?
Yes,
So,
my driveway faces their house.
okay,
I'm
okay,
inside the court.
okay. So do we have a record, Julie? Did you know?
If I may, through the chair, Councilman, I'm going to have to, get with the chief and find out what information there is. It sounds like if the previous officer was working with her, there's definitely a file. And we'll have to see. I know there's some new resources that we've now are partnering with, I think, at Van Buren and a few other communities. And of course, there's been a lot of, strides made as far as providing some additional assistance with mental health. So
Right.
I'm going to have to look into all the detail, but
No
again, I'll be
worries.
getting back
Okay.
with city council on that. So, and I think Mr. Freyer gave you my card as well, so I'll be contacting you and, following up, but I'm going to go right to the chief with this in the morning,
I
so.
appreciate you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks for coming.
Ellen, can I get her information as well?
Yeah, I gave it to Jerry. so
Okay, Jerry.
I'll get that for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ellen.
You're welcome. Mr. Chair and Council, that's the last written request from the
Okay.
audience.
Is there anybody in the audience, any comments? No comments from the audience? Close the part out, Madam Clerk.
Okay. Number 9 is unfinished business. Number 10 is new business.
This may fall, if I could, Chair, please. Thank you. Either communication or new business, I guess it's new because I'm grateful. First of all, I want to say to everyone, thank you very much for your support. I'm the newly elected Wayne County Commissioner. Actually, I'm Commissioner-elect. November the 5th, it'll be official. I want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart who poured support in behind my candidacy. First time a resident of Romulus has assumed this seat since 1972. So I'm very, very thankful. Ellen put together a fantastic report here, and the report shows that Romulus residents showed up and showed out. So thank you again to all of you. Again, from the bottom of my heart, I take this job very seriously. It's an honor to be considered for this role, and I'm going to work as hard as I can to make sure that the residents are properly represented, whether it's Romulus, Wayne, Flat Rock, Belleville, or the townships of Sumter, Van Buren, and Huron. I'm going to be on the spot, and I'm going to make sure we get the appropriations that we deserve in order to get the infrastructure in our cities where they should be, whether it's lead pipes getting replaced, or whether it's handling the flooding, controlling the flooding, whether it's the roads, bridges, whatever the case may be. I think it's very, very important that the commissioner has a hands-on approach. And our current commissioner, Al Haydes, he's been in this position for 10 years. I know him fairly well. Wish him the best. But now, in a couple months, there'll be a new game in town, a new commissioner, and I plan on doing an excellent job for the residents. And I'm not going to hide from you. I'm going to be here for you. So anybody who's looking out there, my cell phone number is 313-850-1132. That's my personal cell. If gotten a lot of calls over the last couple of months, and I don't run from problems. I try and attack them. So again, thank you very, very much for that opportunity. If I could, and this again, it's a new business, I was placed in this position back on January 17th as a replacement for Eva Webb, our beloved Eva Webb, who succumbed to brain cancer, as most of you are aware. And again, I take any role that I'm placed in very, very seriously, whether I'm elected or appointed. Eva did a great job. She's gone on. I replaced her. Now it's time at the end of this year for me to move on as well. So I would be remiss if I didn't make a motion to fill the vacancy of city council once I vacate the seat, to fill it the same way I did, by making the motion that the next city council person, or the next person who ran for city council, the runner-up, if you will, to me, will be Harry Kraut. So I would like the chair to entertain that motion, that Harry Kraut gets an opportunity to assume this seat the same way I assumed it 7 months ago.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wilson, supported by Ms. Williams. Any discussion? No discussion? Roll call vote. Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
No.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Should we have a meeting or discussion as to, are we
No,
sure that's who's next in line, is what I want to make
He's
sure.
next
We
in
vote
line.
now.
Yeah,
next in line.
that's what, we did all that the first time around, didn't we?
Yeah.
I thought we did.
Yeah.
We're voting on something that hasn't even happened yet.
Well,
It's
Yeah.
putting it in place,
In
Mr.
place.
Wadsworth, so we don't have to go through that.
Well,
That's what he's doing. So,
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
I'm going to vote no right now because I think we need a little bit more discussion, a little bit more time. We don't even know if he is
he's willing to accept it.
willing to take that position.
Chair,
Yes.
through the chair.
chair votes.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I'm sorry. We went through this whole process.
Yes.
We went through the whole thing. We had discussion after that. We made recommendations. We had the clerk make recommendations to us. Nobody wanted to listen to it. They already had in their mind that they wanted the next highest vote getter. It was clear that nothing else was going to be entertained. It was the next, we had people from other communities coming here. We want the next highest vote getter.
Right.
And so if we were able to do, we did that for this gentleman, we need to do that for the next person
Yes.
as well. It was a big to-do and a big discussion and a lot said. And I think we've said enough.
Yeah.
Through the chair.
Yeah.
Through
Well, I'm going to take a couple more, and then we're going
Okay.
to run this roll call.
I just want to say, many of us are voting for the democratic process. The next in line is what, I mean, we're voting for the democratic process. The people voted for these people, and that's how I feel. Why I go with the
Thank
next
you.
in line.
And we did it already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on. I didn't say that that wasn't the process we should follow. I'm just saying, are we sure that's who the next in line is, and is he going to accept it? And the thing of it is not putting a name out there, just the next in line that was after Mr. Wilson. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was Harry Kraut.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and if that person isn't able to fill that position, and he doesn't want that position, or so on and so forth, then it goes down to the next in line. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, is that it? Chair votes yes, motion approved. Next.
I'm sorry, just for clarity, to make sure I have that, I just want to make sure I have it correct. I have
Next in line.
a motion by Wilson, supported by Williams, correct? And in the roll call vote, we have Wilson, yes, Williams, yes, Talley, yes, Abdo, yes, Barden, yes, Wadsworth, no, and Roscoe, no?
Yes.
I'm
Is
not
that
voting no. I said
Okay.
it needs to be clarified who the next in line is and whether they would want to accept that position. And if not, then it needs to go down to the next person in line. It needs to be clear.
Okay. Just for the minutes, I just want to make sure I have that roll
Yeah,
call
That's
right.
that's
Yeah.
Right.
So
Perfect.
I have the motion, but
I'm just saying clarify it. clarify it, and that way we know exactly, we're not naming a person, we're naming the next person in line, just like we did last time. We weren't naming Councilman Wilson, we were naming the next person in line.
I think I was named, but anyway, that's...
Yeah, that's beside the point. I'm just saying, we're going down the chain of the election. I think that's what we need to clarify and say, because that's what we did last time.
And I think that's the gist of what we're saying.
Yeah.
That's just my
Yes.
thought.
Ms. Williams?
And I just want to say this, the reason why I supported the motion, because I know, I looked at, the next person in line is Mr. Harry Kraut, and that's why I supported the motion. I think as Councilwoman Abdul said, we need to follow the democratic process of, the people voted, and he was, I've looked at it several times. He was the next person in line, and not so much calling his name out, but continuing on. So it's when Mr. Wilson have to leave this seat, which is
End of the year.
end of the year,
Yes.
it's already set in place that we don't have to go through no different process, is to keep it flowing, offer that seat to Mr. Harry Kraut, which is the next person in line. And that's why I said yes and supported the motion.
Well, I agree with that process. I'm just saying, and if that person isn't able, then we keep going down the line,
Right, but
if that's the way we're going to do it.
Okay.
John?
Yeah, Mr. Wadsworth.
I have no problem with the process, but I don't think that, with all due respect to Mr. Wilson, he should be involved in making this decision, because he won't be here in January. That's the problem that I have. I got no problem
But
with it.
it's already been, so the vote has already been taken in spite of, it's, what was it, 5-2? So
Oh, yeah.
let's move on,
Move on.
it's a done deal.
Supermajority.
Okay, just so you know, council, is that Mr. Wilson's motion was stated is the next person in line, and naming Harry Kraut, and that's the motion to fill the vacancy, okay, which we'll have to get your last day and all that, but to fill that vacancy for this process, so that's the motion naming that was just stated. So to answer your question, Councilwoman Roscoe, I know you want clarity, so you would have to make another, that motion would have to be restated, because the motion you guys voted on was, you named a person to fill that vacancy. So that motion is,
It's already
That's
passed.
fine.
right, it's done.
It's
But if you
passed.
needed, if you wanted other, clarity or
Right.
more verbiage, then that would be, you'd have to entertain another motion to do that.
Well, it's
So-
just,
Absolutely.
It's already passed.
if he does not want to or isn't able to, then we'll have to come back and revisit that and have another motion for the next person in line. That's why I said it just needs to be clear that whoever is next in line that is able to accept that position, then that's the person that we put in there, instead of naming a name. I mean, if the next person in line is Harry, that's great, that's fine. But what I'm saying is, if he's not able or doesn't accept it, then it needs to be clear that we just go to the next person instead of having to go through all this again.
We need to
Yeah, well.
That's just clarity. I was
No,
not
I got it, but
objecting
like
to the process.
Councilwoman Williams said, let's move on.
Yeah.
If we
It's already done.
we got to tackle it down the line, let's move on.
Yeah, come on, we discussed that enough.
Whatever.
Okay,
Let's go.
Let's move.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
We're going to move on. That takes, if there's no more new business, it takes us to number 11. We're requesting approval of warrant 24-15.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion, we pay warrant 24-15 in the following amounts. General Fund, $332,654.87. Major Street Fund, $1,896.39. Local Street Fund, $42,013.42. Public Safety Fund, $78,416.79. Cable TV, $4,300.80. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $8,979.76. Street Lighting Fund, $55,257.58. Community Employee Activity Fund, $667.64. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $203,300.28. Tax Increment Finance Authority, $280,986.31. Downtown Development Authority, $10,323.67. Michigan Indigent Defense Fund, $17,388. 9/11 Service Fund, $19,674.15. Drug Law Enforcement Fund, $1,000. Library Fund, $45,519.36. Water and Sewer Fund, $534,907.97. Motor Vehicle, $36,001.09. Technology Services, $50,034.52. Retiree Insurance Benefits, $137,310.46. Revolving Fund, $15,516.25. General Tax Fund, $5,927.50. Current tax, $10.79. Impressed Payroll Fund, $454,945.55. Totaling all funds, $2,337,033.15.
I second that motion.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, to pay warrant number 24-15 for $2,337,033.15. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you. Council, number 12 is communication.
Through the chair.
Ms. Talley?
A couple of things first. Congratulations, Councilman Wilson.
Thank you,
For
sister.
as short a period that you'll be in your new role. I'm sure you will represent well, so congratulations.
Thank you, Sister Talley.
And then, I just want to piggyback off the clerk. Everything you said was just on point about your staff and the whole election process. Your staff, I mean, they did that thing. So just thank you and just kudos to them and you and just the teamwork. Y'all made that dream work with that clerk's office. So kudos to your whole staff and team through that whole long process.
Thank you
So,
for your
y'all did the work. So just wanted to piggyback off that. And then just keep in mind, Relay for Life is coming up October 5th. Still signing up team. There's still time to sign up to be a team. Contact Shona Sylvie Baum at 734-754-3823 for a team. If you have capacity, you've got people who want to walk for Relay for Life, please contact Shona Sylvie Baum, again, at 734-754-3823. And the last thing that's been said over and over today is our Pumpkin Fest is upcoming. You ain't seen nothing yet. You want to participate in our Pumpkin Fest this fall in September 20th, 21st, and 22nd. We have volunteer opportunities, and as Vanessa said, there is more to come, but it's going to be a great Pumpkin Fest weekend. So I encourage you to participate in any way possible. If you're attending, engage, volunteer, whatever that is, ask you to do so, because it's going to be really, really big. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Talley. Ms. Williams?
As always, we back at it. Tomorrow, Forgotten Harvest from, well, you can start lining up as early as 8 o'clock. We start the line at 10. We cut it off at 12. All is welcome. That's it.
All right.
And thank everyone for the birthday wishes. I just really lost 10 years.
Okay.
Was it 39?
Yeah.
I'd like to say, again, congratulations, Ms. Wilson. As William said, first time we had a Romulus Residence County Commissioner. So I'm sure you do a good job, but I know you take your job serious in anything you do. Another thing I'd like to say that the clerk and her staff does a great job. That's why I can see why she got Clerk of the Year. And she got a great staff.
Yeah.
So we just fortunate to have such a good clerk.
Amen.
You know?
Amen.
So congratulations again to both you guys. I'm proud of you.
And I would also, I'm sorry to even miss that, because that is an honor to now, after so many decades, not years, but decades, to have someone that will be representing their own community first. So congratulations, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you. Thank you. Councilwoman Williams. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge.
Is there any more communication? If not, number 13 is adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
Wait a minute, you got my glasses. Been motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Just in that, on the list.
I need to come get them, right? I go get them tonight. I'll be commissioner, and I got the signs out there, you're
Well, I
right.
was going to get them, but I didn't want to touch them. I didn't know that.
Oh, of course, I'll be kidding.
No, I don't do that.
Oh, come on now. I don't get no trouble.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
the right size, just a couple.
Okay.
I'm real big on that.
All right.
Signs.
Thank you, dearest. Yep. Okay. What's his name, Steve? You better catch him. Hey, Steve. There, you want to catch him? Hey, okay, Kathy, you want to see Steve? How you doing, Steve? Hey, thanks, Bill.
I already called you and wished you luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate your commentary to you. It's good fun. Yeah. Yes, sir. I hear you. Hey, I ain't gonna be here.
Do what's right. I'm not worried about that.
You know you gonna make me straight if I'm not. I know you will.
I got your number.
Yes, sir. Make sure you call me.
I can't run as fast as you. All right.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you.
All right.
JB. So that's Roscoe.
Outside. Huh? Outside, I got your stuff outside.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I gotta go. Well, okay.